the recording, but remind me to start it up. So. That one? I was hoping to play some songs for you before we started, but I want to be able to cover at least the end.
This PowerPoint gonna be posted? I couldn't find it up.
Oh, right. So I tried to send an email through the office and somehow it didn't work. So what I'm doing, that's right. Oh, sorry. So the best way to do it is I'm passing around a piece of paper, just write down your name and your email, and I'll send you the link. I'll put it on a Google Drive. I'll put the PowerPoint and the study packet. So there is one last page. This is the last page that I've added to the packet, and we're going to be looking at it today. Yeah, for the interest of time. So I'll just say briefly, I was going to start with two songs that we wrote, Or and I, in our youth as well. I'm saying Mayim Rabim and Mizot Olah, that's many waters. And who is this that rises up from the desert? So these are all quotations from Song of Songs. We are just one of countless people who have written songs or composed songs on the text. But I wanted to bring these particular ones because this is the text we're going to be dealing with today. So I'll just maybe play you like a few moments of each song, and then we're going to dive into the text. But first, let's just say our blessing. So, first, let's take a moment to make our personal intention for today's study. This is our last session together. Get centered, sit comfortably in your chair, both feet on the ground if it's comfortable for you. If you'd like, you can close your eyes for a moment. Let's take a deep breath in together. And exhale. One more time in. And exhale. Let's say the blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'shanu b'mitzvah b'sivan v'yitnu v'lasot b'divrei Torah. So I'll play for you just a few seconds of Mizot. Mizot. Who is she that shines like the morning star, beautiful as the moon, radiant as the sun? Who is she coming up from the wilderness? There are returning themes and motifs in the Song of Songs. So what we actually did is we took a couple verses that begin with, it comes back again and again. Who is she? Who is she? There seems to be this person that we've been asking, who is the speaker? Who is this? So the question is actually asked in the text several times. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? So let's just hear just a few moments from the song. Oh, interesting. I see that it's not allowing me to. Maybe, oh, I have to do it. So sorry for those technical issues. Keeps creating issues for me. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. Let me see something. See if this helps. It kind of basically. It worked last time, remember? It worked. It might see that it's not working. So. Okay. Never mind. Not important. I'll send you the links, listen at home. So instead, but I will, so these are some of my favorite songs. Luckily, I'm going to play you some, so we don't need the recordings. But I will show you the text. Tell me if you see things. Oh, here, started all of a sudden.
That was me.
Oh, yeah, you have it. That's Mizot. It's kind of a happy melody. Thank you. Who is she that rises up to the desert like pillars of smoke? We recorded this with some of the best musicians in Israel. It was a real honor, and the saxophonist and flutist is just amazing. He had such a range. He could play jazz, he could play Irish music, and he could play Middle Eastern, Mizrahi, and completely up, at least to my ear, completely jumping between the genres, you know, as if he was native to all of them. So anyway, then there was Many Waters. I don't know if we have, you know what? Do you have it? Never mind.
Possibly.
Yeah, so never mind. This one, Many Waters, we took the chorus, many waters cannot extinguish love. Because we're gonna read about love today as a flame, as a fire. And so we took just that line, but the rest of it was original lyrics. It's, I have to say, a bit of a cheesy love song that's sort of appropriate for weddings. So when I'll send you the link, you can all listen to it at home. It's kind of a fun reggae style. I did it in reggae. It goes like, "Mayim rabim lo yuchlu lechabot et ha'ahava, u'ne'aro lo yishkefuha." So many waters cannot extinguish love, and rivers cannot wash it away. We're gonna find out now. El Ginakolos. I don't know if any of you were at the concert. Thank you. So I actually sang this song for everyone. Really wonderful musicians were with us. And just a moment, I'm going to bring it up. So this song, Esther Knows, is actually a song used that's associated with early Israeli folk dancing. So a woman named Sarah Levita Nye in 1944 wrote a melody to these lyrics, which come from, again, they're 3 verses that are kind of taken from different parts of the Song of Songs, but they all refer to the beauty of the landscape of Eretz Israel, and particularly expressing a deep love for the land, and also reflecting this kind of the hope in the establishment of the state of Israel, symbolized by the blossoming of flowers and the ripening of fruit in the springtime. her song was part of a new Eretz Israel style that emerged during the formative state of the state of Israel. And it sought to distinguish itself from the diaspora culture and to reimagine ancient Hebrew music as they imagined it. Of course, it's a complete fabrication. Not complete, I mean, you could argue that they were taking from non-Western sounding melodies and shifting musical meters that were anything but Western. It had to distinguish itself. And that's what's really interesting about the sound, and it characterizes that whole time period. The music was written in such a way. And also Israeli folk dancing, if you know anything about it, maybe there are people who know better, but also it was a new form because Israel wanted to create its own new culture. And yet at the same time, kind of, they were trying to reimagine something connected to the ancient culture. Because paradoxically, what we have is like a nascent nation, but also an ancient nation, which is also kind of like the resurrection of the Hebrew language, an ancient language, but a new language. So we have this mixing of ancient and new. Anyway, so that's this unique style of the song, and I'm gonna noodle a little bit. Get back. Sorry. Closer. Sorry, wrong key. Eginat ego, yavati, lirot ve'ivamna, lirot aparcha kenetzu parimoni. Lechadodi, Nitze hasede, Nalina bakvadi, Moshkim alakam, Nir'e ha'paracha, Pita masemada. Uri sapo, uvo eman, hapichiganis lu besama, yavo doni legano, ve'yucha rimegada, ve'yucha rimegada. And now another song I'd like to teach you. And this is another half century later after this song. I encountered this song in the early 2000s from singing circles in Israel. It's a thing where you have Magalei Shira. It's Shira Pitzibur. Have you ever heard of this? It's like, there's a tradition, this is a very popular thing, just like karaoke is popular here. So they would gather in large groups and just sing together. Like, there was a whole culture of singing songs. And there are books upon books, compilations of Israeli music that you can draw upon, and people still do it today. It's called Shira B'Tzibur. Now, there was another evolution of this among the, the alternative, young folks coming back from India. They came back from India singing bhajani or, Sanskrit mantras. They picked up this thing where they would meditate in circles and sing songs in foreign languages and get very deep, they get deep into meditation through music. And what we did in the 2000s, we were part of this new thing where we said, hey, why are we singing in Sanskrit? Let's sing in Hebrew. So we, this is a song. We didn't write this song. In fact, this is kind of a new, kind of a contemporary oral tradition. So songs you would just learn songs from hearing other people sing it. They weren't recorded necessarily later. Some of them became recorded later when they became popular. But this particular song, I was unable to find a composer. We used to sing this song. I love this song. And since doing Shir Shirim, I remembered the song, but I love this song. It's very meditative. And it focuses on some of the most solemn and powerful words in Shir Shirim. For the most part, we've been encountering kind of this, images of wine, perfume, blossoming gardens, gazelles bounding across spice mountains, young love, longing, and earthly pleasures. A lot of kind of like almost hedonistic kind of imagery. But here in the final chapter, we're going to suddenly, there's suddenly going to bring some heavier subject matter, which we're going to approach now. And the words of this song are this, oops, sorry, here we go. Just a moment. Simeni Kechotam. Okay, that's what it's called. It's not called that, but for the sake of not having a title, Simeni Kechotam we take from the first verse, not the first verse of the song. Simeni Kechotam alibecha. So I tried to translate it. I'd like us to look at it because I hope that we can sing it at the end after we've, let's just learn the song. Afterwards, we will study the text, and then at the end, we'll conclude and maybe approach the song in a new way. So I tried to keep it almost word for word so you could follow with your eyes. Simeni kechotam, if you can read it, set me as a seal. Simeni, set me, kechotam, as a seal, al, upon, libecha, your heart. Kechotam, as a seal, al, upon, zroacha, your arm. Azah, strong. Hamavet, as death. Ahava is love. Reshafeha, its flashes. Reshafei esh are flashes of fire. Shalhevet, Yah, a blazing flame of Yah. Yes.
Didn't you say that this book, there wasn't any reference to God?
Good point. Now, I put the Yah in there. There's argument about, Shalhevet Yah, grammatically speaking, that, modern Hebrew, like modern people in Israel will read Yah as God. They'll think definitely that's Yah. But what they say is that when you add a Yud Hey at the end of the word, sometimes it's an intensification. Like you have a word, and if you add Yah, it just means it's bigger. Like, so Shalhevet is a flame, but if you say Shalhevet Yah, it's a big flame, right? Big flame. You could also read it as a flame of Yah. And so what I did is I put both in there. Good catch. So it's a blazing flame of Yah. So this is the first time we're meeting heavy subjects like death. Oh, it's not here, but
The seal upon your arm, I thought of tattoos.
Yeah, right. It sounds like a tattoo, but they didn't do tattoos. Seal is more like what I've researched and I've read, and what most people say is that you wear a ring on your finger, or like a necklace with a signet, with like a symbol of a commitment to the other, like you wear it on your necklace, or like a pendant, or like a thing. It's also associated with tefillin. Tefillin you wrap on your arm, and you also have it on your forehead. It's supposed to be connected to your heart. So that's another way of showing commitment, right? Let me check. So I'm gonna teach it to you now. Now tell me what key is easier for you. Should I, like, I'll play it once in this key. And this, I want it to be easy for you, for men and women. So it's like this. See many, yeah, slow. See many, let me put it up. I'm gonna put it up one, let's see. Tell me if it's comfortable. See many, kachota, ali becha. Try that. See many, kachota, ali becha. Kachota. Azroaka. Do that again. Simeni kachota ahivecha. Kachota azroaka. Let's go to the next one. Azakamave ahava. Yeah. Azakamave ahava. Let's go on. Veshafeha lishpe'ef. Shalhevet ya. Veshafeha lishpe'ef. Shalhevet ya. Start from the beginning. Simeni kachota ali becha. Kachota azroaka. Simeni kachota ali becha. Kachota azroaka. Azakamave. Azakamave. Ahava. Azakamave. Ahava. Reshafeha lishpe'ef. Shalhevet ya. Reshafeha lishpe'ef. Shalhevet ya. Reshafeha lishpe'ef. Shalhevet ya. Let's take a look at our. Page is 22. It says conclusion of song, back to the garden. Let's see. Does anyone want to read? Who wants to read? Does anyone want to read? Okay, so please read from the beginning until stop before the pink highlight. You see 8-5, so up until 8-4.
Okay.
Mhm.
I am my beloved's, and for me is his desire. Come, my beloved, let us go out to the field. Let us spend the night, the henna, the shrubs, the villages. Let us rise early to go to the vineyards. Let us see if the vine has flowered, if its blossoms have opened, if the pomegranate flowers have budded. There I will give my love to you. Would that you were as a brother to me, a suckling of my mother's breasts. I would find you outside, I would even kiss you, and no one would scorn me. I would lead you, bring you to my mother's house. You, would teach me. I would give you drink, a kiss of spiced wine, or the juice of my pomegranate. His left hand beneath my head, and his right hand embracing me. I made you swear, O daughters of Jerusalem, not to awaken, nor to rouse up love until it desires.
Okay. So let's start. Let's take a look again. 7-11 from the top. I am my beloved's, and for me is his desire. We read that several times throughout. I am my beloved's, but interestingly here she says, instead of saying I am my beloved's and my beloved is mine, which sounds reciprocal, a little bit different this time. For me is his desire. I'll just keep going and just think if you want to add anything or any insights. Come, my beloved, and this is Lecha Dodi. This is where our Lecha Dodi comes from. It's the lines. These are the lines that inspired our Shabbat song. The origin of this Shabbat prayer. And what's in the Shabbat prayer? What's it about?
The bride, coming of the bride.
It's about, yes, welcoming the bride. It's about the holy union. The holy union between the beloved and the bride. And then we had all the allegorical associations with that. And then she says, let us go out to the field. By the way, it's generally thought that this is the female voice still. Let us go out to the field. Let us spend the night in the henna or the villages, because the original word is bakfarim. Kfarim in Hebrew could be interpreted either as out in the village or in the henna. The henna it's an herb, it's a shrub of sorts. They use it to paint hands, right? In weddings. So we have our little wedding association here. And then, so it's let us sleep in the henna shrubs or in the villages. You can wonder, are we inside or outside? Is she inviting to go out or to go in?
So how it sounds like.
So would henna shrubs maybe be the more appropriate? Imagine them sleeping out in the open air. Is that maybe what?
Yeah, away from people.
Away from people. Good point. Away from people. Why was that? Why away from people?
Privacy.
Mhm. Away from prying eyes. Away from judging eyes. Yes. Let us, and that,
I see like two different layers. One is let's have this love affair and keep it away from prying eyes. The other one is this kind of imitative of pagan rituals and having sex in the fields to make them more fertile.
oh, maybe.
I'm just guessing. And you don't want anybody to know that that's what you're doing, because you can be put to death for imitating the other tribes or your neighbors.
Oh, I
So
never.
that you want to say, no, I'm doing this for God.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what you have a sukkah for too.
I did
To
not.
hide in the sukkah
Yeah,
for privacy. And also,
assuming it's warmer than Rochester.
yeah, it is. It's the Eretz Israel climate. And then here's another excuse maybe. Let us rise early to go to the vineyards. So maybe that's why they're sleeping out, because they have to rise early and tend the vineyards. Do some, agriculture, tend the land. And let us see if the vine has flowered, if its blossoms have opened, if the pomegranate flowers have budded. There I will give my love to you. So like we said in the song that I just sang as well, which was taken in part from this. We have all it's what season is this?
Spring, just like
Springtime.
everything's budding.
Right, it's all the images of springtime and blossoming and ripening. And then we go to the next. What would this is the interesting one. Okay, what would that you were a brother to, sorry, my eyes. Would that you were as a brother to me, a suckling of my mother's breasts. I would find you outside. I would even kiss you, and no one would scorn me. Thoughts? Your thoughts?
Well, if it's her brother, then she can kiss him and it's not sexual.
Right.
And so you're making it look like it's all the family,
Mhm.
and it's just a familial relationship, and no one knows we're lovers.
Mhm.
And I mean that's this concealment.
So is she asking him to pretend to be a brother?
Yeah, maybe so they don't get in trouble if other
Mhm.
people think, oh, she's just running off with her brother.
It's, and in the Hebrew, what is the Hebrew, implication of me 10 is sort of like, I wish. It's kind of like, I wish you were a brother to me. You don't, to our modern sensibilities though, this idea, this thing that she says, isn't it kind of, how does that hit you? I
Weird.
wish you were my brother, like that you would nurse at my mother's breast. That's,
Yeah,
it's strange, right? I don't know, for us, it's strange. And I wonder why, but then, and then I think in terms of poetry, in terms of, we'll read on, but, there is a theme that comes back, which was the breast. It has actually a theme that comes back and maybe we'll find meaning in it.
but feeding too, I mean, which love does.
True. So there's a kind of a nourishment there.
Mhm.
So let's keep reading just so that we can try to connect the dots and see if it has, broader meaning. I would find you outside, I would even kiss you, and no one would scorn me. So I just want to point out this whole thing about, again, being outside. We have two contrasting settings of being outside. There's the outside, which is a private outside, where they're out in nature, away from prying eyes. They go out in order not to be seen. And here, going out now means being seen. Isn't that interesting? There's kind of like, sometimes outside means being in the public eye, and sometimes being outside means hiding from the public eye. And she seems very concerned with scorn. The word is baz, betzayin, boz, and it comes back twice in this passage. Of all the words, it's not, the word that might be used all the time, but there seems to be, and we'll encounter this word again later. There is question about, what is proper behavior, right? And what is scorned. And I just want to remind you that you may notice that, Song of Songs, as we said before, doesn't moralize, it doesn't dictate right and wrong behavior, unlike the other, like Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, which were also attributed to Solomon. But here, rather, it's the opposite. It seems to question and challenge, social mores, sexual mores, what's allowed. It's like, I should be allowed, we should be allowed to kiss in public. Why aren't we allowed to kiss in public? And that kind of, if that's the voice that I'm hearing here. And if you think about it, bringing her, these strange things like, being a mother, being a brother at my mother's breast, which sounds to our modern sensibilities to be kind of strange. You have to remember that maybe at least then, young women and girls did not leave their homes and their whole social, they did not socialize outside. So their whole world was either their brothers or their mothers, and so that's the only comparison she has.
Maybe a sense of safety.
Yes, safety, familiarity.
Like home.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue. So again, the mother comes in, the breast. I would lead you, bring you to my mother's house. Here she is bringing him to her mother's house again. Remember that? This is the second time it appears. And then there's an ambiguity in the Hebrew. She could either be saying, I would lead you to my mother's house, and there she would teach me, but it could also be construed as you will teach me.
Mm.
Isn't that interesting? So what do you think about that?
Teacher, what?
Teach him what? She's inviting him into intimacy, remember every time she would invite him to intimacy, into her mother's house, and the last time it was to the room where she conceived me. I will bring you back to my mother's home, to the room where I was conceived. So there seems to be like a circling around, or like she's Like I said, like we mentioned here that she's becoming her mother now. It's her turn now. It's her turn to conceive. That these are the fruit. I brought you to make love, but actually love has consequences. Love has fruits.
Mhm.
And what is the continuation of this? So who's teaching?
I was gonna say, it also seems like it has, like, we were out where, you know, people can see us, so we're gonna pretend to be brothers and do. Right, it says where I can kiss you and no one would scorn me, do things that are socially acceptable between siblings.
Mhm.
And I'll bring you inside where we're away from the prying eyes and no one will see us going inside as strange.
True, I can bring you to my mother's house, right?
Or is she talking about her own body?
Okay, so in what way is she talking possibly about her own body?
I would lead you, bring you to my mother's house,
Oh, we mentioned that last.
where I was conceived.
Right, so it's like the womb, we said, right?
Hmm.
Perhaps we're talking about a womb for the female reproductive system.
Rid kiss of spiced wine of the juice of my pomegranate.
A metaphor, but an explicit one.
Mhm. So,
Need we say more? What was the last time last week we read about the pomegranate? Do you remember that?
I'm trying to remember if it was mentioned.
All right, it was compared to her cheek.
Oh,
Her cheek was like to him like a pomegranate, and her mouth is also like they always compare the kisses to wine. And we once again, even in the Hebrew, we have the same we have that play on words where to kiss and also to give drink is the same word in Hebrew.
hmm.
So kisses are compared to wine, but what's interesting here, she's saying, I would give you a kiss of spice wine. I'm assuming, let's assume it's a kiss. I will give you my kiss of spice wine from my pomegranate. In the beginning, she was asking him for his kisses,
Hmm.
and it's a nice envelope. It's a nice way of closing up. Now this time she's offering her kisses. So there's a nice kind of reciprocity here from the beginning to now. Let's continue. 8:3 and 8:4. His left hand beneath, okay, so now they've gotten to, she's taken him home. She's offering him his kisses, and now his left hand is beneath my head, and his right hand is embracing me. And then all of a sudden, whoop, I made you swear, O daughters of Jerusalem, not to waken, not to rouse up love until it desires. So suddenly in this most intimate of moments, suddenly the daughters of Jerusalem appear again. Do you remember? That how did they suddenly appear on the scene? We're in the most intimate of moments.
Like, be careful.
Yeah, oh, be careful. Yeah.
Maybe they're saying that.
Who's saying be
The
careful?
daughters of Jerusalem. I made you swear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And maybe she's saying, don't waken us, don't rouse us, don't bother us.
Oh,
She
Yeah.
could be asked, like, okay, so picture this, we're watching a movie and the main love interests, finally there's the kiss, right? And then there's the embrace. And then one thing leads to another. And then whoop, the camera pans to the window.
The curtain's flowing.
The fluttering curtains. Okay, privacy, please. Okay, you know what happens next, but please. So that's kind of like how I felt. And this happens also, this is not the first time it happens. It happens earlier, maybe once or twice. Before, it's the same thing where there's kind of this implication that there's a consummation. And in that moment, they say, oh, daughters of Jerusalem, look away. Look away, camera pans away. And then when you go, now we'll go to the part, I highlighted it in pink because it's kind of it's a kind of a voice that's coming. It's neither she nor he, possibly it's a choir. It's possibly the Banot Yerushalayim who say, who is this that comes up from the wilderness, leaning upon her beloved? So we've jumped from, okay, it's as if the camera turned away to the curtains. And then, okay, next morning, camera comes back. The amorous lovers are leaning against one another. And that's like, that's kind of like this literal picture that we're getting.
And that's pulled out for the song Darty Lee.
Okay. Mhm.
Right?
Yeah,
Those two.
and so many, it's a very popular verse for songs, and it's this also what I tried to play for you, which Eric so kindly played for us, Mizot. Who is this? There are some secrets hidden in here, but we won't have time to dig into them, but I found some secrets in this. It's interesting because it kind of sticks out of nowhere, suddenly this voice, who is this? And then we come back, just for the sake of time, I'm going to say, we're assuming that, again, it's the young woman speaking. She says, under the apricot tree I aroused you. Under the apricot tree I aroused you, there she conceived you, your mother. There she conceived you, she who bore you. Let's just take a moment, because mother imagery is very strong in this passage. Has been very strong in this chapter. Here's the mother again. So they just, if we want to see it as a narrative, they kind of awoke from their amorous encounter, and now she's speaking to her lover, and she says to him, again, I say apricot because it's some tapuach, which we don't know what fruit it was, so let's just say apricot. Under the fruit tree I roused you there. Now, also in the Hebrew, it's not clear whether the word is conceived, as in the conception happened there, or the birth happened there. Because in Hebrew, it's chet bet lamed is chiblei leda, means the pang, like in modern Hebrew, that means the pangs of birth. It's actually labor. And chabel means to wound, or the modern word for terrorist is mechabel. And what's another example is, where did I put it? Anyway, so the thing is that we're not sure whether she's being conceived there or being born there. But what in the world is she talking about? I mean, she says, here, my love, I'm waking you under, wait, weren't we just in your mother's house? Did we just wake up under a tree? Like, what's going on here, right? We just woke up under a tree. I woke you under a tree. And this is the very tree where your mother birthed you. But she maybe possibly conceived you as well. Or maybe both. I don't know how to read
So
this.
this isn't Burma, this is
Your mother. She's saying if we're assuming it's her, she's saying
to the.
to her lover, to her beloved, she's saying, yeah, you were born, she says to her beloved, you were birthed here. I know, I hear silence. It's strange, right? How do we read this?
Well, this is far-fetched, but she's, after such an intense thing, she's a new person, and she's sort of equal with her mother, following the path of her mother.
Mhm.
This is a normal thing.
Yeah, and she's referring now to her lover's mother.
Oh.
You were born here. But everything can be, it's motherhood, it's our mothers. In marriage, you leave your mother's house or your parents' house to cleave onto and then you create your own home, right?
Mhm.
That's maybe the implication. I'd like to, my understanding, which is interesting, is because I really feel like there's an intensification here. This is the last chapter, and you can argue with me, but I read into it this is the end. This is like there's an intensification here. We're confronting topics that we didn't confront the entire time. It's getting to be very, very, very solemn subjects now. We're talking about birth.
Commitment.
So there was no marriage almost throughout the book, right? It was just love and fun and whatever out in the fields. And now we're talking about me as a seal of your heart, about your heart love is strong as death, you know, jealousy. And it starts to get intensified. And I'd also like to say that whether it be birth or conception, these are some of the most extreme experiences of a woman's life, both in love and in conception, which is, you know, you could say the greatest pleasure of life, and birthing, which is among the greatest pains, but miraculous pains of life. So we have kind of pleasure and pain juxtaposed here. This is so much, it's like there's an intensification of the extremes of life's experiences. And so we're talking about birth, and then just a few lines down, we were just talking about birth. What happens 2 lines down? Set me as a seal upon your heart. This is a commitment on heart and arm. And for love, for strong as death is love, hard as Sheol is jealousy. Suddenly we've gone from playful love affair to lifetime commitments, and to birth and death. We've come to a very, very, you know, intensification of what love is actually about. And it's not just a frivolous love song. It's a song that deals with real life, you know, relationships and everything that it entails.
Eric and I used these verses in our wedding ceremony.
Oh, lovely. With
And afterwards, a friend came up and said, "You had the most violent wedding vows I've ever."
I love it.
Is this at least a close reference to the Via Hata by language?
The Beahavta,
Mhm.
you know what, I have
The
to,
seal upon your heart, that would be
it could,
between, before your eyes and under arm.
right.
But there's your heart, your hand,
Huh?
your eyes, and the Via Hata is about what you shall love, but a
Yes,
very different
yes,
kind of
definitely,
love. than-
because it's a love, but it's also a commitment. And also, if you want to look at it in a divine way, like we said, it's also like tefillin. If you think about, or not just in divine, but also in the human commitment, but more so, I would say, what does the heart represent and what does the arm represent in the world, in our experience? Okay, I know
Bodies
I'm not asking in a very good way, but go ahead.
I was thinking of arms doing things.
Right, doing. This is the doing in the world. What's heart?
Feeling.
Feeling, being. So there's a commitment both in spirit and in being, in all my beingness, but also in my action in the world. And if you think of it in the divine way, to be committed to divine action and divine internal practice. So your internal world and your external world is dedicated to the divine, or it's also dedicated to love. To love, to loving action in the world, right? I hope we get through this, because there's some really beautiful stuff that's coming. Okay, so let's just linger a little bit, because I think that what does it mean? Because this is what I wanted to ask you. What does it mean for love to be as strong as death? And for jealousy to be as hard as Sheol? And I want to just read the Hebrew again with you, because it's also the language. We're missing the language. It's really beautiful. Take a listen. It's ki azak kamavet ahava, kashet kishol kina. Okay, so we have ahava, which is love. Ahava is azah. It's kind of an open ahava, azah. Love is strong as death. And kina'ah, which is jealousy. Kina'ah is kasha. Kina'ah, sorry, I'm reading.
Hard.
Right,
From a poetic standpoint, it's all these like hard consonants.
right.
And then ahava and strength are both very soft, nice on the ears.
Very open versus it's a vowel versus a hard consonant. Like you really feel you're like hitting up against something. Kashet kishol kin'ah. So this is a device, and we didn't talk too much about it, it's called parallelism. So when you have parallelism and you have two sentences that are kind of parallel, describing similar things, it can either come to intensify or reinforce each other or oppose each other, kind of like contrast to each other. So how might you read this parallelism? Is love and jealousy the same thing? And why are they being paralleled here? How are they being paralleled here? How are they being compared here? Any ideas?
They're both strong emotions. I
Mhm,
mean, love and jealousy, and it's part of all this desire.
mhm. Oh, and do you know what Sheol is? I'm sorry, like, I'm assuming you know what Sheol is. I didn't translate it because people like to translate it as grave or as a synonym to death, but it's not just death. It's in, does anyone know? So it's
The
kind of
underworld.
like the underworld. It's like death. Sometimes it's associated with purgatory. It's like a waiting place. But it's a place of separation, from God.
He come back, Sheol, and death is permanent.
Oh, good one. Yeah, death is permanent.
So permanence is about as strong as you can get.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And Sheol is just this experience of being separated from God. Kind of like hell. So jealousy is hell, but jealousy is as hard as hell. Jealousy is as hard as hell, but love is as strong as death. How do you understand that?
It's definitely parallel.
There's a parallelism. But how do we understand, what's the difference, for example, how does that, what's the difference between love and jealousy then, in this context? Can you see what they're are they trying to say something? Is there a wisdom trying to be told to us here?
Well, if death is permanent and Sheol is not, they're saying love abides, but jealousy does not.
It abides lest death abides, it's as final as death, or I'm trying to understand.
So there's, again, I'm not really good with the Hebrew,
No.
but if death is permanent and Sheol is a non-permanent state, you're saying that love has the strength of death, has the permanence of death,
Mhm.
and yet jealousy is a passing thing.
Oh, good point. I like the way you put it. Yeah.
Is this the same word for jealousy as is used when God says that he is a jealous God? Because
You have to check it, but I think that's the same
I'm
word.
gonna say, so it's not exactly cast as a purely negative trait, I guess.
I guess it
Purely
depends on the
negative,
context. Depends on the context. So I'm gonna bring it, does anyone have anything else to say?
So love and jealousy are both in some sense are about desire, and there's been all these warnings about desire and waiting and. And when is the right time for desire?
That's the thing.
Yes. When is it like what the do not rouse love until it's ready, until it desires?
So this is interesting. I was looking up the jealous God for
Mhm,
Tyler.
mhm,
And it is that word,
mhm.
but it says it originates from kine, which means ardor or jealousy. So jealousy has a passion to it,
Sure.
which is there's ahava, and then there's, which is one kind of ardor,
Mhm.
and then that jealousy is the negative, the other
Right.
side.
So what
of the
is
ardor.
the so
Could we-
what is, right, sorry.
Sheol is passion.
Sorry?
So could we say then, hard as Sheol is passion, read it that way?
Yeah, I mean, if what you're saying is there's an intensity, it's an intense feeling, jealousy, as intense as the suffering of Sheol. It's hell, it's like hell on earth.
Well, and it has a flame of jealousy.
Right, so we have
Yeah,
shall have it, it's like we're comparing it to this passionate flame. and it's unclear, well, I mean, you could, are the flashes of love or the flashes of kina? You could, the fire here may, it could refer to both of them because it's a passionate, flaming, intense feeling.
But isn't it the point, like there's this fine line where something so sublime, just flips the underside
Mhm.
very, very close. But it's all, I mean, it's fire, and it can be a hava or it can be
Right.
the jump, both are ardor, both are, whatever that word means. Intense,
Intense, passionate feeling.
yeah, and it goes either to a hava or to the jealousy.
So I'm gonna bring in a little Buddhism here. I don't know, I feel it strongly when I read this, but you can say, there's two kinds of love. There's an unconditional, infinite compassionate love, like the love of God. And then there's kind of a human jealous love that doesn't see, that is,
Possessive.
possessive and full of attachment.
I was
So-
gonna say clinging.
Right, so maybe what I like to see it is, perhaps it's a comparison between a non-attached benevolent love versus a benevolent love can conquer death, strong as death. Whereas a jealous love just feels like hell. You'll suffer. If you can't get beyond the attachment, you will suffer. And if you can rise above that attachment. So that's that's kind of
There's
my,
great irony there though, because you need to be attached to have a relationship,
so I think that's, yeah, beautiful.
but it's complicated.
Right. It's part and parcel of the duality of our existence, of being attached to our finite physical life. So this is the constant, this is what Shirashi, I feel, has been about, like has been reading it, is going back and forth between the earthly love, which has validity, which we can find divinity in human relationship. And in fact, that's the only place we can find it, in fact, because we have nothing else, right? But there you have constantly this tension between divine love, earthly love, divine love, earthly love. And we're past time. Can we just read the very, very, very end?
Hmm.
Do you mind? Just 2 minutes, just to close it off. The very, very end, we have the very, very end, which is 8:13. The very last two lines are like a little tiny dialogue, but I think a very significant dialogue on which we end the Song of Songs. The first one, 8:13, is as if the young man is talking, and 8:14 is her response. So the beloved says, "You who sit in the gardens, friends listen for or to your voice." You can interpret it two ways. Friends listen for your voice. Let me hear it. And then she says, "Flee, my beloved, and be like a gazelle or a young stag upon the mountain of spices." We've heard this chorus before, it comes back and again. But what an interesting and beautiful way to end. We can take like 2 minutes to think about it and then end our lesson. So,
Is she trying to get him to go away or?
Yeah, it's been come here all along. Let's go away.
go, maybe, it's all in there, yes, she is telling him to go away, but the Kabbalists like to say that it's not actually fleeing away, it's fleeing inward. It's like,
After.
it's like, go be free. So wait, but who is she in the garden? She sits in the garden, we hear her voice, we listen for her voice, we want to hear her voice. And then he says, "Friends, listen for your voice. Let me hear your voice." Do we see her? Is she visible to us?
No.
And we can't see her. We just pray and wish and hope to hear her voice. Remember, it's implying what this returning metaphor, which is the locked garden. There is a garden, she's sitting inside of it. The mystics love this one. We're not going to get into it, but the mystics love this image. She is sitting in a locked garden, and all we can do is hear her voice and listen for it because it has something to tell us. We long for it. It's that same longing to see, to hear the beloved. And he says, let me hear it. And I want to just, I'm going to give you my interpretation. Hashmi'ini, he says, Hashmi'ini, let me hear your voice. We've been hearing her voice the whole song. Keep reading it, read it over and over again. Keep reading it because we're trying to hear her voice through the words of this song. What is this song telling us? I want to hear your voice. What does she tell him? What's the final thing? She says it again. I've been telling you the whole time. Flee, beloved. Be like a gazelle. She's telling him to be free, but this is where I leave it to you to interpret. What does it mean to flee? Inward, outward, go forth. What does this open ending mean? Last week or the week before, again, we were talking about the open endings. Her dream ends with an open search. She doesn't find him. So there's an open ending.
The story begins in the middle and ends in the middle, and there's no beginning or conclusion.
Like we said, in medias res. Stories don't really have a beginning and end. In truth and in reality, our life is an open-ended story, just like this one is. And you can just ask yourself, well, what is it it's telling us? What is the great wisdom that the voice is telling?
To me, it kind of reads like a play, the whole thing really, like there's all this evocative imagery, but then when you have to pan to the window, there is like now we're gonna go to the chorus that's over here. And then it seems like there's, sometimes questions being asked, but then here at the end, you who sit in the gardens almost feels like they're addressing the audience. And then flee, kind of telling everyone like, all right, the play is over, now go and kind of take this with you.
I mean, that's very Shakespearean.
Very,
Yeah.
Go live your life.
Right.
yeah, exactly.
And, oh yeah, and I forgot, right, remember, it also brings me back to the garden. Under the apricot tree, I roused you. In what other story do we have that?
Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve. What happens when they eat the fruit? And she offers him the fruit. What is this arousal?
Knowledge, you know things now that you can never go back.
So what we're seeing is a reiteration of the Garden of Eden story. And I would like to suggest that it's as if we have left the Garden of Eden. And it's kind of the pangs of birth are here. We ate the fruit, there's the pangs of birth. And now we live in a world of duality, of good and bad. We have to deal with it, but what is the voice perhaps trying to teach us is that maybe there's a way back in. Maybe there's a way
With love.
through love. Love that, maybe through love, through the love encounter, maybe. Anyways. Do you want to sing that song one last time with me to end? Or do you?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay, let's go out. Imeni kachotav alivecha kachotav al zoacha Simeni kachotav alivecha kachotav al zoacha Azakamave ha'ava Azakamave האהבה, רשפי הרשפי, שלהבת ים, רשפי הרשפי, שלהבת ים, סימני כפותיו על איבך, כפותם על זרועך, סימני כפותם על איבך, כפותם על זרועך. אז הקמתם האהבה, אז הקמתם האהבה, רשפי הרשפי, שלהבת ים, רשפי הרשפי, שלהבת ים, סימני כפותיו על איבך, כפותם על זרועך, סימני כפותם על איבך, כפותם על זרועך. אז הקמת האהבה, אז הקמת האהבה, רשפי הרשפי, שלהבת ים, רשפי הרשפי, שלהבת ים, רשפי הרשפי, שלהבת ים, רשפי הרשפי, שלהבת ים. Okay, thank you.
Wow, yeah, wow, right, yeah.